watching E.T.N, where we don't do news, we just talk entertainment. Share and subscribe.
Hey guys, welcome to Entertainment Talk Nation. This is Rob. Yes, I know what you're all going to say. All right, for how long is he going to do videos now before he drops off the face of the earth for another 2 months? While I can't promise anything, I'm working very hard not to. For those of you who were in the stream last night, you know exactly what I'm talking about, and I want to thank you guys for coming once again. That was a very, very good turnout. Definitely wasn't expecting that, but I was very happy nonetheless. But this video, we're going to go over last weekend's wonderful trailer trio of Pacific Rim, Star Wars, The Last Jedi, and Justice League. Yes, those were three trailers that came out. I can't remember any time that we ever had three really, anticipated movies, trailers drop all in one weekend, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And it was real fun. It was a real fun weekend. There was a lot of talk. A lot of people very hyped up for some of their favorite movies that are coming out. And I figured I wanted to do this video sooner, but I was still in the middle of setting things up, trying to get back. I had to relearn how to use some of my stuff. It's been so long. I think the longest drought I've had ever, because this drought was about 2 months. Usually it's anywhere between 2 weeks to a month. This drought was 2 months. It's been a long time, so I had to kind of reacquaint myself with some of my equipment and my software. So I wanted to just knock out all three of these trailer reviews in one video. So bear with the length of the video. We're going to be, I'm going to spend a short time with each one. I don't want to make this video too long, but I definitely want to express how I feel about the trailers I saw, what I think, things of that nature. So we're going to start with Justice League. And as much as I've crushed DC and everything that they've done, I actually like this trailer the most. Not that it wasn't with its problems. There's still some CGI that needs to be finished. There were some scenes that looked really bad CGI. But again, we all are very much aware that even a month away from a movie, CGI still needs to be worked on. But I did like this trailer a little bit more. I like the song. Obviously, one of the reasons I like it a lot is because of the introduction with Lois Lane's dream with Superman, and he's telling her, I'll take that as a yes because she was wearing the ring. And then we see that she was dreaming about him. But, we know he's going to be in a movie. How long he's going to be in a movie, we're not sure. How much of him are we going to get? Obviously, they seem to be centering around him being the only hope. A lot of people are very heartbroken and upset that Superman passed away during his fight with Doomsday, because for many people, he was a sign of hope. Yes, there were people that feared him. Yes, there were people that questioned his integrity down the road. Would he ever turn around and turn on humanity? We do remember Batman's vision in Batman vs. Superman, where obviously Superman was very, very mean, for lack of a better word. Well, there's many better words, but, to put it softly, he was not very nice. And we learned that in that movie, it seemed that one of the reasons led to maybe Lois Lane dying at some point. So that's something that we might have to consider at some point during these movies. The trailer itself, though, was very fun. Flash is starting to grow on me, but not the suit. I'm still not a fan of the suit, but Ezra Miller is starting to show a little bit of that, that Barry Allen kind of attitude and a little lighthearted, very kind of happy-go-lucky, and that's good. That's good because one of the things I was concerned about with the Flash was that, considering DC is very dark and the whole edgy, dark and gritty deal, I was concerned that they would go down that route with Flash. But after seeing all the trailers, it seems that he's going to be the most lighthearted one of the group, which is good because that'll balance it out. You know what I mean? That'll balance it out. But I don't like the suit. The suit is horrendous. Cyborg is a huge issue. That CG suit, they just overdid it. I've seen Cyborg in the cartoons, and the Teen Titans. My son watches Teen Titans, and even in the cartoon, he looks like he's really part man, part machine. But in the movie, he looks like he's 90% man, and then his face, 90% machine, and then like half of his face is man. So, and then it just looks really bad. Again, hoping that this improves by November, but we got to keep in mind that he's been looking like this ever since we first saw him. So I don't know how much more improvement they're going to put into that. That may just be what we're getting, and if that's the case, that's bad. That's bad. Batman and Wonder Woman, not concerned about. I know Ben Affleck. He's a great Batman. I was, very, very sold with his performance in Batman vs. Superman. And I never was really concerned when they casted him all those years ago, like a lot of people were. A lot of people were throwing, shit out their window and going nuts, not realizing that Ben Affleck at that point had come a long way since Daredevil. So I was never concerned with his casting. He's fine. Obviously, Gal Gadot has proved herself to everybody. And she seems to be the face of the franchise, and she should be. Wonder Woman should be the face of this group right now because she's had the best movie. And furthermore, it looks like they might tap into that a little bit. We see the Amazonians in the trailer seem to be going at war. Steppenwolf is back, which I didn't know that. I didn't read anything that he was coming back, so I'm sure they mentioned it in some article online. And I know he's not the main villain, but it looks as if he's going to be an off villain, or he's obviously going to return. Yeah, at this point in the storyline, it would have been many, 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 many years since she fought him, and it looks like he's come back bigger and better than ever. So I thought the trailer was good. I was entertained by the trailer. It gave me a little bit. I don't want to say it increased my expectations very much, but I'm definitely more interested now. And, you got to hope they hit a home run with this one, too. Wonder Woman was a great, great movie. DC's best movie. And they do have elements of that shine. Ben Affleck as Batman, for example, is a shining element in what has been a very mediocre, and I'm being generous, DC universe, with movies like Suicide Squad and Batman vs. Superman. Wonder Woman was really kind of, I wouldn't say it completely flipped things around, but it gave a lot of people better hope for the future. So we'll see what happens, but I thought the trailer was good. Jason Momoa as Aquaman, I'm totally down with that. He makes Aquaman look more legitimate. When you look at the old, and I'm talking about the old comic books, I know the more recent ones, he's more legitimate now as well. But for a long time, Aquaman just was goofy. He was just a goofy character. There's no way around it. Despite his powers and how cool he was, he just looked goofy. But on screen, they've really adapted him to really look like a badass. Some of his lines seem a little bit corny, like, my man, and yeah! Like, I just don't see that with an Atlantean, person, like someone who's, like, very regal, or he's supposed to be regal. But it's Jason. But it's all good. We want to see him kick ass and not take names and and that's it. So if he's got a couple of corny lines in there, it's okay. The universe needs a little brightness in it. So I'm okay with a little corniness in there. But I think most of that comic relief and corniness is going to come from The Flash, and I think it should. So I'm looking forward to The Flash, Jason Momoa, Cyborg. I'm not knocking the actor. I'm sure he'll play a great role. I'm sure Cyborg might have some shining moments in the movie. But in terms of visually, he just looks horrendous. He looks horrendous. But let's see. The movie's, roughly a month away now? So we'll have to see what happens there. But overall, I did enjoy the trailer more than the previous ones. Now, moving on to Pacific Rim Uprising. Now, this was a very, very exciting trailer to watch. John Boyega is really getting up there real quick. Some of these actors, you get one good role, and it just catapults your career. Or one good director directs one decent movie and catapults their career, a la Gareth Edwards and, of course, John Boyega now with his acting. I thought the trailer was great. It was phenomenal. I think the number one thing I'm happy about are day shots. Lots of day shots. Tons. And that is exciting to watch. Because that was one of my biggest complaints about the first movie. There were hardly any day fights, and a lot of them took place at night and then in the rain. Where this one, all I saw were day shots. There were a couple of night shots in there, but most of the fighting was done during the day, trailer-wise. And the Jaegers look fantastic. Everything looks more vibrant than the first one. Even the suits look like, if you're looking at it from a more technical standpoint, they look downgraded because the first suits look more kind of, I don't want to say robotic, but they looked a little bit gloomier, and it made it kind of match what was going on, inside the Jaeger and everything. These suits are like really vibrant. They're blue, and then you got these colors, and that's not a bad thing. I think the movie needed that a little bit. I'm a little concerned. It looks to be a little bit tweeny, which is a concern because the first movie, obviously Idris Elba was older, and all the other actors were grown men, and these guys seem to be teens. But when you're looking at it from a story standpoint, it kind of makes sense because if you got these men fighting in Jaegers for so long, fighting different monsters and kaiju, they're not going to last forever. They're going to get hurt, permanent damage to their bodies. They're going to die. And I would imagine if you continue to constantly fighting this onslaught of kaiju every couple of weeks or couple of months, you're going to run out of capable hands really soon. I mean, remember, it takes some time to get two people to link together and fight in a Jaeger, and then you have to have great stamina, great athleticism, and then mental prowess to even deal with it. So it makes sense. I just don't want it to be too tweeny. You know what I mean? That's my only concern. I don't want it to be too tweeny. I don't mind the song. I thought the song was great. I liked the little one, and then it kind of went into the hip hop. I was cool with that. I know there's a lot of people saying they didn't like that. I thought it was cool. I think the series needs a little spunk. Look, this was a good opportunity that they had. There was never a certainty that they were going to get a sequel, and we've spoken about this many times on this channel. You guys know this. Pacific Rim 2, as much as we loved it, did not do well. It did not do well here in the States. It did decently across seas. It did not generate enough income to make a huge profit, if a profit at all. If anything, I don't think it made a profit. And there was a lot of question marks, man. And remember, this movie was going online again, offline again, online again, offline again. And finally, they decided to push through with it. I'm glad they did. It looks great. John Boyega is a household name now, so he's going to draw more attraction to the movie. We do know that kaiju are back kind of on the main scale right now, and they're hot. We have, obviously, Godzilla 2014 set the stage. Shin Gojira carried it over. Now we have Pacific, and we had King Kong, of course, to keep the trail going. Now we have Pacific Rim to lead us into the next kaiju movie, which will be Godzilla 2. So I think the movie's going to do very well. And it's opening at a time that it's not going to be under pressure from a lot of competition. I expect it to do a lot better than the first movie, and it should be very interesting. But it looks good. It looks really good. The Jaegers look fantastic. They look more sleek. They don't look as they're robots, but they don't look as robot. They look like they move fluently. It seems to me like they move more in line and in tune with the Jaeger drivers, which wasn't really the case in the first movie. So I'm really liking what I'm seeing in this, and I'm looking forward to it. So let's move on to Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Yes, everyone's obviously very excited for this, and with good reason. The first Star Wars movie was really good, a lot of fun. Of course, in the past I've criticized the fact that it's called back to nostalgia too much, but that doesn't take away from the fact that it was a fun film, a very exciting film. And this one looks like it's going to be a little bit more darker, following in the footsteps of the original trilogy, where Empire was definitely a little darker. I'm not saying it's going to be another repeat of the first movie where it's going to draw back to that too much, but there's nothing wrong with using that as inspiration for your next movie. And the trailer in and of itself, I'm assuming that's Snoke talking in the very opening. I'm pretty certain it is. And the one thing I want to get to right away is what Rey said, and then Kylo's reaction. It seems that they're talking to each other, but they're not. They're not. If anything, it looks to me like Rey is in a cave, maybe over a campfire, talking to Luke and trying to convince him to help her. That's what it seems like to me. And then when you switch over to Kylo, it looks to me like he's somewhere very dark, and there's fire in the background. If you really look at it and focus, the two environments are actually very different, despite how similar they may look. But if you really pay attention, the environments are not that similar at all. And there's even people breaking it down to try and explain it, which I don't think it's necessary. I kind of figured that right off the bat. I mean, they're not, and just common sense, I don't think they're going to have her be the last Jedi and then turn rogue. In which case, if they did do that, then Luke would technically be the last Jedi, and he would have to take down two very young, capable Siths. And let's face it, as much as I love Luke and as powerful as he is, I don't think he's capable. I mean, he really never could technically... I mean, he beat his father, but, I mean, it's not like it's something he did right away. His father whooped his ass a couple of times before he finally defeated him, and he couldn't even touch the Emperor. The Emperor was going to kill him. Now you have two Jedi that are, you know, and this is speculation, of course. I'm kind of going off the wagon here, but the bottom line is I don't think Rey is going to turn Sith. I don't think and there might be something where maybe she considers it, and that's what draws Luke out to come out and help her. So who knows? But the trailer was a lot of fun. It was great. You know, we got to see Snow Doge, you know, which was really cool. The little creature that's very popular now. I already see tons of memes with the little creature that was in with Chewbacca in the Millennium Falcon. And then, of course, we got to see, God rest her soul, Carrie Fisher as Leia, who I did hear through the grapevine that she's supposed to be in the third movie as well. I don't know how they're going to do it. So while it looks doom and gloom when Kylo Ren seems to be flying towards a rebel ship and he's probably going to blow it up, and they kind of make it look like she's in there, and you hear the whole thing about him letting go of the past. And remember, that's something he alluded to in the first movie shortly before he killed his father. So, and I think that's part of his quest. Part of his journey is, if I'm going to truly embrace the dark side, I've got to let go of my past, and the only way to do that is to kill my parents, kill the people that love me or that I used to love or that I still love, and I want to get rid of that because I want to embrace the dark side. He's able and willing to embrace the dark side. He's already completely sold. There's no flipping him. It's a conflict for him. It's tough. He's very young, much like Anakin was when he was very young and conflicted, and he was embracing the dark side because he wanted to save Padme. So, you know, it looks good. It looks good. It looks like there's going to be a lot more drama, a lot more conflict in this one. And that, to me, is a good thing. That can only enhance the movie more when you consider the action, when you consider, you know, all the lightsaber fights that we love to see, and the space battles that we love to see, and the great music, and the great characters, and aliens, and all that. It's going to be a wild last quarter of the year with these movies. And that's not to mention we still have Thor Ragnarok. You know, so there's a lot of good stuff coming, you know, towards the end of the year, going into next year with Pacific Rim Uprising. So I thought the trailers were a lot of fun. I enjoyed all three of them. I'm looking forward to all three movies. And yeah, that's it. That is it for this video. I don't have a timer on this new software I'm using, so I don't know how long the video is right now. But we are ending it here. So let me know in the comment section, what did you think about these three trailers? How did it make you feel? What are you looking forward to the most, and why? Until the next video, this is Rob signing off for E.T.N, where we don't do news, we just talk entertainment. Take it easy.
Thank you for watching E.T.N. You can follow E.T.N on Facebook, Twitch or Twitter, or join the Nation Facebook page. Don't forget to click that subscribe button on your way out.